Hi everyone. Well, what a 10 months it's been for the Galaxy S3. It's proven itself to be pretty much the hottest selling device of the year. It certainly shipped more units than any other smartphone I think to date, over 30 million units. And it's proved to be a very hardy device. Yes, we had a couple of problems with firmwares. For instance, the Samsung Exynos memory bug, which allowed people to gain root access. Can look at that as a bonus win. And then there was that whole sudden death bug. But one thing that we found with Samsung is they were very quick to get these problems ironed out. And more importantly, they kept the community informed as to what was going on and how quickly they would get things fixed. It's not quite like the Apple way of doing things, which is, you know, it's only a problem when 100,000 people seem to complain on forums and message boards and the press pick up on it. We certainly would prefer if Samsung would hurry up and release the binary source for their Exynos chips. That would make life a lot better for developers and for the general consumers, because then if we're using third-party ROMs, etc., we can optimize better. And, you know, wink wink nudge nudge, Samsung may take notice of some of those optimizations and incorporate them into their full releases. It's not unheard of. But you know, when we consider the Galaxy S3, we see it's been on the market now for sort of 10 months or so. When you look at the price-performance ratio of the S3 versus some of the newer handsets that have come out since, the S3 is still the best handset on the market. Fair enough, it doesn't have the 1080p screen, might not have 2 gig of RAM. But when you look at the cost of those devices that do have those features on there, you're paying quite a bit more right now. You can pick up a Galaxy S3 second-hand on eBay for about £200. Or alternatively, brand new, you can pick one up for about £250 to £280. That makes it a very economical phone, given the power of the device. So far, the S3 has not been a slouch. Normally, after a couple of months, we might expect the Galaxy S3 or other smartphones to start slowing down. But what we found with the S3 is Samsung have actually been making it faster. I will always remember the first patch they released for the Galaxy S3 just after launch, which added at least another 15% responsive speed to the system. From TouchViz to, you know, playing games, the thing got faster. And that's a remarkable thing for a manufacturer to be able to do, to say, actually, we're going to make this thing faster the longer it's on the market, by optimizing, by improving, and by learning from the things that they didn't quite get so right. We've also had Samsung releasing new software updates, incorporating features from the Galaxy Note 2 and their other phones into the S3. That's fairly unheard of from a phone manufacturer point of view, where normally the features a phone launches with on day one are pretty much the features you're going to have when you finally throw the thing in the bin. Samsung have taken their devices seriously and realised that an iterative approach, an agile approach to getting their software out the door means that just because the Samsung Galaxy S3 didn't have a feature at launch like multi-window support, doesn't preclude it from getting it 6 months down the line when the software is ready and tested and working on the Galaxy Note 3. By doing it that way, they didn't launch features too early that would hobble the phone or cause a poor user experience. They waited, they improved them, they got them working beautifully on the Galaxy Note 2, and then they ported them across to the S3. I mean, regardless, the developer and hacker community would have done that for them anyway, as we did. But by the same token, it's nice to have Samsung doing it officially. I mean, from a PR point of view, it's great for them, but also it just gives you a bit of confidence that you're buying a device that's actually going to stay up to date. And if the rumours are true, that when the Galaxy S4 launches, we should, after a month or so, see some of those features backported to the Note 2 and the Galaxy S3 again. That's fantastic news. It certainly shows that Samsung are taking their entire ecosystem seriously, not just their latest and greatest products. So from a retrospective point of view, when we look at how Samsung, comparing them to the other manufacturers, they've had a phenomenal year. Not only have they sold more devices than anybody else, they've managed to keep those devices relevant and up to date, they fixed issues quickly and easily, and generally, all in all, we still have a phone today that we can recommend as worth buying, even with the next generation of phone about to hit the market. So if you've got the Galaxy S3, if you're thinking of buying the Galaxy S3 but were on the fence for the S4, have a look at the features and just decide, is the price to performance ratio really worth the extra money? Now, we'll be bringing you a full review of the Galaxy S4 at the end of next week, most likely. And we'll be comparing the Galaxy S3 and the Galaxy S4 and putting them head-to-head in a shootout, along with the Galaxy Note 2 and some other devices. And I expect to be impressed. I expect to be impressed with the Galaxy S4 software. I expect to be impressed with the way the hardware has evolved. But I don't believe, at this stage, that I'll be saying the Galaxy S3 is no longer the phone you want to buy if you're price conscious. I think, personally, that the price-performance ratio on the S3, where it'll sit against the S4 and against other phones coming onto the market, will still make it an absolute win for the majority of consumers. So, I hope you've liked this Galaxy S3 retrospective. We've covered a few of the more salient points regarding the S3. Do let us know in the comments what you thought of the S3 this year and what you're looking forward to on maybe the Galaxy S4. All the best.